killed. And we know who did. I'm afraid that every time we go out. Yeah, I met you through McKay. I don't know if you remember me or not. I did not have no beard in my head. My head was bald.
Question. They accidentally did that Southwest seasoning. Wait a few minutes to get it break. Are you sure? Okay. If not, let me know and I'll definitely get you. I'll get you. I know. Just let me know and I'll get you a different one. I'll get you your dressing. Okay.
I need to draw a line on the way. So, yeah. One is we have to come up to your
when does it actually start?
We'll do 3 sessions.
Friday. Yeah, she told me.
What county commission Did I give you this most? Did I give you my best? Thank you. I was thinking about putting my name in.
I'd be shocked.
What district do you live in?
You're older than me. 70. And so he graduated here.
Yeah.
He got 70 years close.
So you live at the south, on the south corner?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So wait, I'm going to red. It's kind of
That's all he said. Sounds like
I just realized you. I'm sorry. Okay.
Give you one card to go to school. Okay. It's true what they said. No, no regret.
Right.
And we
my wife Karen. And who are these people? Hey, I'm Governor Mike Pence. What's your name?
I'm one of the
What grade school are you in? One of the perks of homeschool. Good. How are you? Yeah. Yeah. So she covered all of that. Hey guys. Let's go. Yeah, we'll get your breakdown.
I saw that too.
Well, I saw like she is trying to break.
Just talking, you know what? Yeah, sure.
I really like her.
Boy, that's on the back of the
I really am.
I had a good break. Okay. You can go ahead and order it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Good. How you doing? Great. Good to see you. Thank you for coming on. We'll try this all over. Thanks. Thank you. Delighted.
How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Good to see you. How are you?
That's great, Laura.
How are you? Good. How are you? Of course. There's a gentleman here that makes the...
We'll make sure you're talking.
Does it have anything to do with the fact that
You're doing okay? How is it?
talking
No, it doesn't act that rude. But they do.
I already Karen will tell you.
Okay, so it's okay. Yeah, I think it's
just today, just a little bit ahead of the curve.
I'll get you these ones.
My girls. I'll do some order their flowers. Can you?
You know, I'm saving all your Christmas cards. Those kids are little.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah. Now you have a son.
Yes.
Where is she?
Michael's in the Marine Corps station in Pence. Did flights back USA Air Force right now.
Check the whisper.
Yeah, I will
The
say.
picture we used for the graduation.
The one's very creative and also like international.
We do. We basically
Because you don't want to be gone, that we're 5 years in Africa. My favorite place. And then from there we went to
We just passed out of the house today. Okay?
now I'm older. I'm glad we're not there. Sometimes I wish we were, but
Okay.
it's totally different. You're exactly Oh yeah, I thought I was going to hold her and I realized
I'm going to make sure that we'll circle back with you and get you some written No, I still like you. I'm a Columbus guy. I'm a Valley County guy.
you always got to go back to her. Good to see you.
Is my Valley County guy? Yeah, I never miss the year. You're absolutely right. See if the person goes over as business. Good, good. Well, we're going to circle back with you.
My God, he's been, I haven't seen him for so long. Of course he is.
She tells me that all the time. I'm 4 years older than her. You're gonna eat later? Hi! I'm fine. How are you? Oh, I'm so nice to meet you too. Thank you. Oh yeah, been to the kitchen stuff.
You want another phone?
I can't say Oh, you know what? Every once in a while, she enjoys it on there. And you know how you can sense the more than one
Yeah. I've been trying to get people out there. Nobody give me a phone back.
Oh, I have my phone.
Way out there, you know anybody in Dickinson County?
I'm calling you to get back by about 2. If not, listen, I'll call What time is it? I can't believe you so much. I don't personally. I'm recording them. I will receive my emails. We have another reporter who's going to be about that. Oh, perfect. Yeah. You have that email? Yes. That happened.
Behind my computer, if I dribble down and farther.
The buffer between.
I did.
Yeah, it was Reinhardt, R-E-I-N-H-A-R-D.
The guy that
I got it.
You know how old I am. They're homeschooled, so that's a perk. But Deacon especially, he's just fascinated by, I mean, he thinks that the mayor can build a time machine and walk on water. Okay. But no, he can really enjoy this. Right, and then, right. So, he works up there, police officers, and firemen, and the mayor, and so when I heard that the mayor was from Canada, I thought it was a great chance to introduce him to the local. He just told me we can't do this to the government.
She backing you up. Why would she back you up?
How about you, Danny?
I asked her if she ordered my double cheeseburger.
Sure did.
A salad.
That's why I really like wrestling. Yeah. Thank you.
It's pretty cool for you to bring him out.
Children's home type facility for troubled kids. That's where we're going. When I do like a vacation so they have funds. There's a group that has funds to help support people who do that. You don't have to. We're going to go down there, stay on that time.
Our next round will be in June. So there's plenty of time. It's a very easy application. We're getting ready to give a bunch out in February that have already applied. It's online. It's all right there. Yeah. And when you go online, you can kind of see more about what we do and the kind of things we look toward. Like, for example, there might be a great organization like Make-A-Wish. But our $500 isn't going to make a big difference there, even though they do great, great work. Whereas $500 for a small group
is a lot. It is.
So we just try and leverage the money. Yeah.
Good deal.
Yeah. So
What is an average grant?
they're either 500 or 1,000. That's it. Yeah.
That's good.
And the focus really is on trying to support community organization. And did you tell them you have them come to the governor's residence? And
Oh, the governor's residence.
Yeah, so then the winners come to the governor's residence, and we give them a big check and
Yes.
a press
Really
release. Because a big part of it is getting press.
Absolutely.
You know, in the local. Yeah.
I've been to it. It's amazing.
My husband was a county councilman. My husband was a county councilman for about 30 plus years. He called. Yeah. And he passed away about 4 years ago. But anyway, I'm trying to carry it on in the community, doing my things. And like, there's this organization called Kendra for Comfort. She was on the Make-A-Wish list. She had cancer, went through
But what she did is she just had a vision. There's actually
so now she's
Washington,
giving
D.C.
back.
First Lady's
So she started it. They
so
had fundraisers. And
Karen took a shot at
everything.
starting
I mean,
it
it's a legit
in
nonprofit.
our first year in office, and frankly had 700 people come and was able to give one significant gift to Riley Hospital. This year the bicentennial is receiving that, but then smaller grants and just trying to call attention.
Well, that would be a perfect one.
The resources
That would
are
be
good, but it's
right
also
down
about
the
calling
line.
attention to groups. That are having a high impact around the state. So.
The last contribution was
she works her heart out.
Manning's.
Really is.
Right.
Visiting schools. And
So it's really,
yes, Broncos all the way.
Those things I love.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Seriously.
I think it's I think number one, I'm obviously a huge Peyton fan. But
I just heard the name from him.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
I
gonna be
would
a
love to
great
see
game.
number 18 get another ring, and then if he wants to hang it up, that'd be a real nice time to do that. I read yesterday that he hinted something.
Yeah, he was walking away from the last game, and you could, the announcers were close to him, was talking, and says, I forgot who he was talking to. It might have been the coach of the losing team, and he said, this might be my last rodeo. He said,
quarterback in the Super Bowl, right?
He's such a. But Carolina's got a spectacular quarterback who's, obviously, incredible talent.
Yeah,
but I will tell you, my view is just as a football guy.
I know a lot about the SEC conference.
The Broncos' defense.
How fun is that?
Ability to shut down the Patriots.
5 years running around.
I know.
I miss it.
I mean,
that is so much fun.
I know. The Patriots
I'm sure you're excited
to be able to frustrate them and then to see Brady get that look in his eyes with 2 minutes out, like
he's in that.
We're just going to score now, and to be able to stop them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yes, I know.
Yeah.
His nephew is Chandler Hunts. He was the third string quarterback on the Colts.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, they're from.
Oh, I didn't know that. How fun is that?
And my son, Kyle, is roommate to Jonathan Harrison, who played as he's still playing, but as center for the Colts.
Wow.
Yeah, Jonathan Harrison is his name.
72.
Cool. But anyway, I just thought I threw it in.
Throw it in. I feel good about it, though.
What sports did you play?
I wrestled and played football in high school.
Yay, football.
And was in my wrestling career, I became familiar with the ceiling of virtually every gymnasium in southern Indiana.
Ceiling. That's too funny.
Happened to be true. Got a good look at it. Oh, well, that one's different.
Funny.
No, most of my success in high school was on the speech team. So.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was. It was. In fact, there's a Supreme Court justice named Steve Davis in Indiana who was on the speech team with me in high school. He was a senior and I was a sophomore, and he's always very kind about those memories in public. But he's a big talent. He's a great talent. But I was not a standout athlete. I didn't.
Pardon me?
Are you a Purdue grad too?
No, I went to Butler.
But I was sincere about it.
Yeah.
I was very sincere.
No, Butler grad.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I tried hard. Yeah. Yeah, I was always looking up. I am always looking up.
Glenn, that was a good
That's absolutely true.
That's a good way to say that.
Yeah, that's
Any moves afoot to raise the salaries of waitresses and waiters in the state because they're so low.
Somebody brought that up to me at a town hall recently about. Well, because there's a service minimum.
Oh my gosh.
And it's an accommodation mostly to recognize.
Smoky dressing, we serve really, if you want something different, we'll let you know.
No.
Thank you.
That sounds good.
When you come to a neighborhood restaurant, it's different.
Okay.
Because the costs are lower. The tips are subsequently lower as well.
Have you all already eaten?
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know that anybody's actively working on that, but it's something that's been brought up.
Just go ahead.
Okay.
If you got some thoughts on it, just
So
send
you're
me a
heading
note.
up
You
to
got my
Fort
email.
Wayne.
Heading up to Fort Wayne.
Oh my goodness.
We're speaking at a dinner tonight, and I'm visiting. We're separating from here. I'm going to go to Fort Wayne now and visit a place called Gigi's Playhouse. They're one of the places that have gotten a grant from me, and started by a friend of mine for families with children with Down syndrome.
Oh,
And
wonderful.
she started it, and they just had their open house like last week. So
Giving him the bill?
we're going to go take a tour of that. Yeah.
I worked for the YMCA in Fort Wayne.
You worked where?
YMCA.
Okay.
In Fort Wayne, Greater Fort Wayne. Last year hired a lady, a director, for adaptive services. She handles Down syndrome.
Well, my only hope, I don't have a dog in the fight for the GOP nomination. My only hope is they're still fighting over it in May.
That's really
I think it's
wonderful.
great. I thought it was great 8 years ago when the Democratic nomination and the candidates were in town.
It is.
My whole lifetime, I didn't remember a presidential primary being competitive in Indiana until then.
I'm a little older than you and cut my eye teeth when
Pumpkin pie
in
is really
68
good.
when
Who's that?
Bob
That's
Kennedy
sugar cream or is butterscotch?
Lyndon Johnson were,
Wow.
and it was much like 08. I mean, the excitement, they were at every...
Is that right?
What did you get?
Just
Pecan
reminiscent
cream?
of that.
Well, That's
we
right.
do love our pawns.
You know what? Because Bobby Kennedy, of course, gives the famous speech in Indianapolis the night that Dr. King is assassinated. That was a campaign rally.
Exactly right. I mean, here's how ridiculous it got.
Right now, he's in Pensacola, Florida.
In McCarthy's camp.
He's in flight school.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
On Johnson Street.
I was bringing grandson yet.
I mean,
Showing there.
when else do we get anybody?
Early now in February.
I don't know if I was in Vietnam at the time.
That's
That's
exciting.
my thing. Politics aside, it's just a great civics lesson.
Oh, yes.
Picking kids.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Michael loves it.
I used to
He
meet
loves
every week
it.
for Bible study. with
It's a
some
good
ladies
fit
at
for
church.
him.
A thing called the Four Seasons, which was a lot like a ritual.
Take any aeronautical things and
On the south side of
He did. That
Indianapolis.
was his major
Right
for
on the
his.
county line.
Yeah.
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 Barack Obama came walking through there. I was told one day. And it was, people were excited about it.
Submarine. Oh my gosh.
I'm going to step over and do a couple interviews.
Should I
I'll
get
be
that
right
to
back.
go for you then?
I'd eat it if you got it to go.
Let me ask Zach about
Good.
that. It's delicious.
He liked my line about being familiar with the ceilings.
That's the first time you'd heard that, I'll bet.
Has the benefit of being true.
Are you also going to just
We'll keep it casual. I think we had a chance to chat with everybody. Yeah. Yeah.
There he is. We don't see that one. He must be terribly embarrassed. Because there's my doll. She's yeah. Thank you so much. No, thank you.
I know. That's it.
Rocketing back. There's so many newscasts these days, we all have to get back early. Karen and I stopped by the Amy Beverton School yesterday morning. Visited with families and faculty. Susan Jordan's school.
Yes, down in Lawrence. Yes, it's just such what a tremendous legacy the person leaves. That she says. I mean, the point was that she basically threw herself into the way to protect others, right?
I think all of Indiana mourns the passing of the hero principal.
I would love to hear your comments.
Well, all of Indiana mourns the passing of Susan Jordan. She's a hero to people all across the state and all across the country. Here's a woman who dedicated 22 years of her life at one school, 20 years as the principal, was a beloved figure among the faculty and the families and the students. We mark her passing with a deep sense of loss in this state, but we're inspired by her commitment as an educator and inspired by her courage in those last moments that clearly saved lives.
If I could switch up a little bit, yesterday Senate Bill 344 was passed out of the Senate Rules Committee, and it leaves off transgender protections, at least till the summer study committee is done. Any comments at all about that particular passage of that bill out of the Senate Rules Committee?
The focus of our administration is, in this session of the General Assembly, is on policies that will keep this economy moving, make the right investments in infrastructure and health care, expanding opportunities for Hoosiers. But I know there's other issues that the General Assembly is taking up, and I respect their work on all the issues that they're considering, and will give careful consideration to any matter that the legislature sends to our desk. But as I said in my State of the State address, I made it quite clear that legislation must be consistent with the Constitution. And so I'll leave members to their work on that and other issues, and we'll stay focused on our agenda, which is to keep this economy moving, make the investments in infrastructure and education that we need to serve the people of this state, and also to continue to promote the kind of policies that will address not only the health care of every Hoosier, but the challenges that communities large and small face with the rising tide of drug addiction and drug abuse.
Is it your sense that it's time for the legislature to move on from RFRA and LGBT issues, that there's just too much attention being paid to that stuff, in your mind?
Our agenda that we laid out earlier this year is really focused on jobs, on the economy, on making sure that the Crossroads of America stays the Crossroads of America, that our schools have the reforms and the resources necessary to be successful, and that we promote policies that will encourage the health and well-being of Hoosiers. The General Assembly has the prerogative to take up any matters, and we respect that prerogative greatly. And as I said, we'll give careful consideration to any matter the General Assembly places on our desk. But I think I'm going to remain focused on those things that will keep Indiana moving, keep Indiana's economy growing, and that'll be our focus throughout this session.
What do you hope to see happen with RFRA since it died in committee yesterday? What are your hopes for that?
Well, as I said, our focus is our agenda in this session of the General Assembly. I'm very encouraged about the progress that we've made on a number of initiatives. The Regional Cities Initiative, which will have a great impact here in Northeast Indiana, is receiving strong bipartisan support to be able to fund all 3 regions that have been approved, make the kind of investments that will encourage growth and prosperity and jobs and opportunities for generations to come. I'm also very encouraged at the progress that we're making in making sure that we have the right investments in roads and bridges in the state of Indiana without raising taxes. I really believe that Indiana's strong balance sheet, our surpluses, the best credit rating in America makes it possible for us to take care of the Crossroads of America without raising taxes. And I'm grateful for the support as we've moved legislation that will make nearly $1.5 billion available in state roads and in local infrastructure like here in Wells County and in Bluffton. So I'm encouraged at the progress that we're making on our agenda, and we'll obviously give careful consideration to any other issues that the General Assembly chooses to send our way.
We have time for one more question.
I had a question regarding the governor's race. I know that it was a close race last time.
Sure.
You know, what are we going to see changes in your strategy? What can we expect this time?
Well, our focus right now is on the future of the people of Indiana and doing the job as governor. But I do look forward in the months ahead to be able to be out on the campaign trail and telling the story of the incredible progress that our state's been making. I mean, we're at record employment in the state of Indiana today. More Hoosiers are working than ever before. We're seeing people move into our state. We're seeing people move off the welfare rolls and into gainful employment. Our graduation rates are up, 7th highest in the nation. And as we celebrated this week, we marked 1 year with the most innovative health care reform proposal in America. Now more than 350,000 Hoosiers have health insurance they can afford and they can pay for in the Healthy Indiana Plan. So we'll stay focused on our job. We'll stay focused on the future of the people of Indiana. But at the right time, I look forward to going all across the state, all 92 counties, and telling the story of the great progress the people of Indiana have made over the next 4 years and our plans for the next 4.
Do you know when we can expect that your efforts are going to ramp up for the campaign? When you're going to start doing that?
Well, we're in the middle of a legislative session right now. It's very busy. Obviously, we face other issues on an ongoing basis. I'm very proud of the efforts the state of Indiana made with federal officials to confront the advent of the avian flu that emerged in Du Bois County just a few short weeks ago. So, as I said, we'll stay focused on our job. We'll work with members of the General Assembly to move our agenda forward, and we'll have plenty of time for politics come this summer and next fall.
Thank you, everyone.
Appreciate it, Governor.
Yeah, anytime.
I know. Yeah. There you go. We are. They don't understand. They don't grasp.
It's not terribly exciting.
Big staple. God bless. We'll be in touch, okay?
Babies?
I've been trying to get somebody to shut him down, but
so when the guys reach out to you, you've got some information we need to know about it.
I've been trying to get him to shut down.
Let us know about it. Let us know about it.
All right.
I gotta run. Go.
She's going to be running the work.
Great.
Paramedic. And she's running for corner. What an opportunity to put a bomb around. I'd love to. Thank you for coming. Oh, yeah.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah. Sure. Get your phone up. Plug in my number.
Yes. Gotta have one. Yeah. She's a great lady.
Feel better after that. Right on
Stand behind.
It's not QP. Although they call me, but I was just forwarding it.
Appreciate it. Good job, Al. Hey,